Hello. Hello. Happy 2:15 in the morning on a Saturday morning. I'm so glad I'm here, awake with all of you. My wrist hurts. Uh, I slept on it wrong last night. How's everyone doing? I'm assuming everybody is from Europe right now who's watching this because it's probably early in the morning over there in the European states or countries. Let me know if I'm speaking too loud into my microphone because I can get louder. Australia, Washington State, Australia, a lot of Australians. New Zealand, oh yeah, New Zealand. Electron rocket was supposed to launch tonight. I guess it got pushed to tomorrow, huh? I don't know why. Yeah, it's Kenya, cool. Miami, New York. Wow, okay. A lot of my fellow Americans are still awake. You guys are crazy. All right, I might fall asleep right now and just let you guys watch me drool on my desk. It'd be awesome show. England, there we go. Deutschland, ja. Korea. Thanks for coming, guys. Or coming. Thanks for staying and watching, I mean. So yeah, what happened with the Electron rocket? I've done no research since I put up my last SpaceX in the news video because, like I said, I was on a field trip and I'm really exhausted right now because I slept on a wooden floor in a museum with a bunch of middle schoolers. Awesome. So yeah, fill me in, guys. What happened with Electron rocket? Is Tim Dodd not streaming tonight? I was looking out for his live stream, and usually he starts way before I do, and I didn't see anything about. I didn't get any notification about his. Texas, Philippines. Electron rocket was fake. Yeah, that might be the reason why it was delayed. It wasn't even real to begin with. They said the Electron rocket or Electron launch was scrubbed due to additional payload checks. Oh, okay. Yeah, nothing from Tim. Tim Dodd's smart tonight. He must be asleep in bed. You love my channel? Well, my channel loves you. And I love you guys. That's why I'm awake with you right now. Okay, I wish I wasn't, but I am. I'm hoping this is going to, like, usually with resupply missions to the International Space Station, they tend to be only like 30 to 45 minute broadcasts. So I'm kind of hoping that's the case and we don't get like delays or anything. I don't even know if we can. I don't know how long the launch window is. Like I said, I've done no research for this. I did do a little bit, I guess, because I know why it got pushed to today, because apparently the drone ship, of course I Still Love You, had some power issues. And I also heard rumors or something about the rocket itself had like helium pressure issues. I'm not really sure. So yeah, I'm hoping tonight's the night so we can do this, enjoy it, and get it over with all at the same time. It's an instantaneous window. Okay, I guess that's a good thing. So at least we all know we won't be up till, 4 o'clock in the morning, or if you're in Europe, 10 in the morning. Netherlands. Helium leak in the background when you're watching it. All right. Tyler, how was school without me today, buddy? How was the substitute? Did you behave yourself? It's one of my seniors. Uh-oh. Matthew R. hit me with a $5. Thank you, buddy. Hey, from Australia, I just wanted to say that I love your channel and keep up the great work. You're a huge inspiration. SpaceX for the win. Thank you so much. That's very awesome. Yes. I don't know if I say this enough, but SpaceX is the reason why I'm all about, like, I'm back into space. I know Tim Dodd has said before that after the shuttle went away, he kind of lost interest in space exploration a little bit, and I did too. That was exactly what happened to me. And SpaceX, the moment they landed their first Falcon 9 booster, was the moment that came back around for me. And so I'm very appreciative of SpaceX and all they're doing over there, and giving me this opportunity to share my love for my newfound love for space exploration with all of you guys. So thank you so much, Matt, for showing SpaceX some love in your little comment there. Oliver, thank you so much for that, buddy. I really appreciate that donation. So yeah, I got no script for you guys tonight. Like I said, I'm just jumping on here because I miss you guys. I want to hang out with you guys a little bit tonight. My wife's in bed. I just kind of want to stay away from her. No. Yeah, so I'm just here to hang out. I have no script. I have nothing like planned to talk about. So I'm just going to kind of relax and just kind of join in on your conversations here in the chat. Okay. Love the channel, bro. How much for Patreon subscriptions? Oh, yeah. Okay. I guess I can talk about that. I do have a Patreon now. Patreon. I always say either it's Patreon or Patreon. I don't know. I have a Patreon full of patrons. I've got a Patreon now. The link's in the description if you're interested. I have different tiers. You can set up different tiers of how much you would like to donate per month, and from like $1, and you get access to all the videos I put on there, things you can't find like on YouTube. So for $1, you get all this content for free, for $1, and it's all listed on the right hand side if you go to that link in the description, all the way up to like something ridiculous like $100, which maybe we'll get to one day. But yeah, I think like $5 you get access to the subreddit, and since I just started it, there's not many people on there right now. We're just starting to introduce ourselves to each other in the subreddit, and that's exclusive, so you only can get in if you're in the $5 tier or up. And then at $10 you get access to like live Q&As every month, and contest giveaways, so I can give away things like blankets and stuff, SpaceX blankets and all that great gear. Okay, I also have some Deadpool posters. I don't know where I'm going to hang those up, so I might give those away too. My favorite Marvel character is Deadpool, but I can't hang him up anywhere because I ran out of wall space in my house. So, I mean, this is kind of how I am and how my channel is. It can be kind of random sometimes. I'll just throw Deadpool on, even though this is a SpaceX channel now. Singapore. What time is it in Singapore right now? Like noon or 2 p.m. or something? Goose Story Sanzi. I bet I nailed that name. Hello from Leeds. Always great content. Thanks. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for that. What are these things called? Super chats. That's right. Super chats. Thank you, buddy. I really appreciate that. All this money you guys throw at me, I'm gonna put it right towards making better content for you guys and buying better gear. Even though I just bought a lot of new gear for this channel, I always keep my options open for more. You may have noticed in my last video, I had a better camera, and now I'm back to using my Logitech webcam for this live stream, because my DSLR camera, turns out you have to buy like $1,000 more worth of gear just to make that thing, stream live. It's ridiculous. I mean, you plan on spending like maybe $1,000, $2,000, and then you find out later after you buy all that you actually need to spend like $5,000 more. So that's just how life is. So yeah, any money that's thrown my way, I will just give back to you guys. All right. Indirectly. I'm not just gonna, hand out paychecks. Any thoughts on Tesla's automation day? Oh man, like I've said, I've been out of the news the last few days. I try to follow Tesla, like on Tesla Radio, what's going on with Tesla, but I haven't really heard much about Tesla lately. I haven't been able to keep up on them. Is it that obvious that it's past my bedtime? I mean, do I look like I'm about to collapse? Because I feel like it. Yeah, stream quality is good. I'm all green. It's probably because my wife's not watching Netflix right now. How was the field trip? Actually, the field trip was fun. It was a science museum, and it was a great time. But we had to sleep on like hardwood floors with the lights partially on for security reasons. So I got about 30 minutes of sleep total. So I'm feeling it right now. I will go to bed after this rocket is successful. Gosh dang it. I'm from Ohio. Yeah, okay. I guess I should point that out. So I've pointed out where all you guys are from. Yeah, I'm in Ohio, the Columbus area in Central Ohio, and so I'm in the Eastern time zone. So right now it's 2:25 in the morning for me. Jerry Welsh, thank you so much. Love watching your videos. New Mexico, home of Walter White. That's what I think of now whenever I think of New Mexico. Thank you so much for that donation, buddy. I really appreciate it. Harry for the win. I love that name. Harry for the win. That's such a positive attitude. Hi, I love your vids. Thank you. Thank you, Harry. I appreciate that. That's my grandpa's name, Harry. Not for the win. That might be his middle name. I'm not sure. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Alaska, 1025 in Alaska. Okay. France. The Blue Origin landings look really shaky. Did Blue Origin just launch a rocket that I missed like yesterday or the day before? I thought I might have saw something like that on YouTube. I like watching Blue Origin launches. It's pretty cool how they have that virus-looking booster. Pretty sweet. Was it successful? I didn't hear it. Like, I kind of tried to keep an eye on the news, and I feel like if Blue Origin had a rocket blow up, I would have heard about it, but I don't know. Tyler, go to bed. Stop telling me that you broke my rocket at school. Okay, that's not funny, bro. I'll give you the detention. What are your opinions on the explosion? Okay, yeah, so apparently SpaceX just released a small statement saying that the explosion happened within a second before they started up the Super Draco engines. So I'm thinking Scott Manley might be right that it had something to do with this the COPVs. I mean, again, I haven't done much research, but that's just from what I gather. It has nothing to do with the Super Dracos, what SpaceX is saying. Whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, they say they don't even know yet. They still have to do their investigations. So we'll just sit back and relax. And they're saying, SpaceX is saying that they don't even know if it's going to affect, how badly it's going to affect the launch schedule. I mean, there's a chance, probably a very small chance, that it won't affect it at all. But the spokesman said that, I can't remember his last name, so I apologize. He said that he's still holding out for hopefully launching in 2019 for that first crewed mission to the International Space Station on Crew Dragon. The COPVs are intact, so I don't think they blew up. If that's the case, then that's going to be interesting to see what it was exactly, because that would have been my first theory. South Africa. Tesla's auto drive chip is 7 times more powerful than any other auto drive chip, upgrading 3 times anyway in 3 years. Oh yeah, the last thing I do remember updating myself on with Tesla was they released a new update that basically ramped up the auto drive feature, right? So you can go from like point A to point B, city to city, with basically hands off the entire time. Again, I don't know exactly what's going on other than that, but that's just, I've never driven in a Tesla. I've never ridden in one. We have a dealership here in Columbus, and I've gone in there, but I was ignored probably because I look poor. And so I have no idea what auto drive, I can't even think straight. Auto drive, I know that's not the word for it. Autopilot is not the word for it either. Hands-off driving, I have no idea what that's like. And so people will probably be like, oh, there's nothing, it's just old news. And I'm just like, that's crazy to me that cars can drive themselves, right? SpaceX started, let me pull up something here really quick, and then I'll get to your guys' things. Let me know if if I need to speak more clearly, okay? I am tired, but I will try to be presentable. Display, no, I don't want display big. I want me big. All right, there, and then I'll do this. Cool. Okay, so, see, I got some super chats here. Jonathan, thank you so much. Thank you so much for that donation, but I really appreciate it. Luca, and you have a very colorful last name. Been here since 1700 subs. You are the best with 3 exclamation points. I only deserve 2, but thank you. I will take 3 of those. Thank you so much for that. I really appreciate that. 1700 subs. Wow. Thanks for sticking around. I really appreciate that. You guys are so cool. I love the positivity of my community, and I hope it stays that way forever. You guys will have to help me bully out anybody that tries to bully you. Okay, we'll all team up and get the bullies out. From the very beginning, I tried to treat this channel like thinking of like Bob Ross, like, and Tyler, my student who's on the chat right now, he knows that I like to show Bob Ross in my classrooms when I have some downtime, and that's kind of how I want to approach my channel from the very beginning. It's just, let's have that Bob Ross mentality. You know, everyone just think of happy trees and get along. What do clouds taste like? Okay, that's a good question. So have you ever stuck your head out of a moving car when it's foggy out and then stuck your tongue out? That's what clouds taste like, because all fog is clouds at ground level. Okay. Do you think Elon's silence about mishaps is smart? I don't know if it's smart or not, but I know it's different. Usually he's the first one to say something. So it makes me kind of think that this is pretty serious, what happened to Crew Dragon, which is, I think, kind of obvious that it's serious. But the fact that Elon's not commenting on it yet, yeah, I mean, it's a serious thing. And my Tim's backup, he's not streaming tonight. That's very upsetting. I know. That's crazy. I don't know when it was the last time that Tim didn't stream. Tim, I'm filling in for you tonight. You're welcome. All right, you owe me. No, that's not. You are better than Tim anyway. Nah, no. I think the numbers disprove that theory. Tim just reached 300 subscribers, I think, today or yesterday. So congratulations to him if he ends up watching this. All right, and his team. That's really great achievement. Pulling for him. No, I didn't get to watch the Blue Origin flight the other day. Been really busy this week, man. The month of May for teachers is awesome because it's the home stretch, but man, is it packed full of just a bunch of stuff to take care of. So it's going to be a crazy month, but when June 1st rolls around, I'll be able to relax a little bit and just hang out with you guys some more. But no, I didn't get to see the Blue Origin flight yet, but I think I have it saved in my watch later list, so I definitely will watch it. They're about to put up people into space on their capsules, I think. I think I saw that in their last video that they did, or the one before, I guess. I would love to collab with Tim. I'm always open to collabing with people. I am kind of a loner by default. When I was in high school, I was like the class isolate. I just kind of kept to myself. I always figured friends were kind of too much of a responsibility. But I mean, I'm always open to collaboration videos, and I have reached out to Tim before, back when I had like maybe 800 or 900 subscribers. I was like, hey, you know, if you want to ever do anything to, you want to be friends, let's hang out. But I mean, he's got, I can't imagine how busy Tim is, and because he's got a whole team of people working for him, and he's got all these awesome opportunities that are presented to him. He even did a show, like a Facebook show, like a legit show. So I'm not offended when he doesn't reach out. But anytime, if he does reach out, I will definitely do a show with him for show. And he's even doing 2 channels, I guess. He's doing his Everyday Astronaut channel, and he's doing Our Ludicrous Future, which is like an hour-and-a-half long podcast every like week. So he's crazy busy. Yay, they started. Oh yeah, and Israel's lander did crash into the moon, but they are not giving up, and they're going to build a new one. Let me turn this volume up.
35 a.m.
Let me know if it's too loud.
On Saturday, May 4th, and you're looking at a live view of Space Launch Complex 40, where the SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket is about to launch our Dragon spacecraft to the International Space Station. Liftoff is targeted for 2:48 a.m. Eastern Time or 6:48 a.m. Coordinated Universal Time. My name is Jesse Anderson, and I'm a manufacturing engineer here at SpaceX. I'm excited to be here with you to cover our 17th commercial resupply mission for NASA.
There we go.
If you joined us for our last launch attempt, you know the SpaceX team called a hold last night, just about 15 minutes before liftoff due to a power issue on our drone ship. Our drone ships use generators to power their onboard thrusters, which allow the drone ship to maintain its position in the water for landings. While our generators were powered up, the team was seeing intermittent issues that we wouldn't have been able to address in the window left in the countdown. Keep in mind that the drone ship is much closer to shore for this launch, so after discussion with NASA, we opted to hold the launch for 24 hours and then bring it back to the port to resolve the issue. The power issue was addressed, and now the drone ship is back out awaiting landing of the first stage following this morning's launch. In addition, you heard the launch director reference a helium leak. For clarity, this was on the ground side and not on the vehicle, and this was not a threat to launch, but with the extra time that the team had, we went ahead and addressed that as well. The Falcon 9 and Dragon vehicles remain in great shape with no issues, so at this time, with the drone ship standing by and ground systems ready to support, everything is looking good for an on-time launch in just about 13 minutes from now. SpaceX will be delivering more than 5,500 pounds of cargo to the space station, including critical materials to support dozens of science and research investigations. We'll be going into a little bit more detail on some of that research later in today's webcast. This will be SpaceX's 5th launch this year, and we'll be launching a flight-proven Dragon spacecraft today, which visited the International Space Station previously for our CRS-12 mission back in August of 2017. Both Falcon 9 and Dragon were designed with reflight in mind, so the vehicle hardware is built to support multiple missions with minimal refurbishment in between. And while this Dragon has flown once before, the booster that we're flying today is actually brand new, so after stage separation today, we'll be bringing that first stage back to our drone ship, Of Course I Still Love You, so that it can be flown on future missions. Now, it was just a few weeks ago that we launched our second Falcon Heavy mission and successfully landed its center core on Of Course I Still Love You, as well as its 2 side boosters on Landing Zone 1 and Landing Zone 2. But today, the drone ship will be positioned much closer to land, approximately 12 nautical miles off the coast of Cape Canaveral, versus the 535 nautical miles for that Falcon Heavy mission. Since we're not going to geosynchronous transfer orbit for today's mission, we have enough performance to complete a boost back burn and ultimately land closer to shore. And the closer that we land to shore, the easier the weather forecasting is, and the chances of recovery for that booster increase.
Yeah, so something I thought about putting in my last SpaceX in the news video is this explosion of Crew Dragon sent debris everywhere. If that wasn't obvious enough by that, potato-looking video that we all got to see because it was leaked by an employee of NASA, apparently. When I was a cop, we had to investigate crime scenes. And there's this one where a car got hit by a train and dragged debris for miles. And you have to keep track of all those pieces, especially if there's like a serious injury or a death. So even though there wasn't an injury or a death with this explosion, I can't imagine how long it will take for them to, completely analyze this crime scene at the Crew Dragon explosion. It's going to take a while and a lot of man hours, and no spank you.
At T-minus 38 minutes, and propellant loading began shortly after that at T-minus 35 minutes. The SpaceX team has completed loading fuel onto Stage 2 and is nearing the completion of Stage 1 fuel load, which should finish up around T-minus 6 minutes. LOX load is underway on both Stage 1 and Stage 2 and will wrap up in the last few minutes of the countdown. And we're also loading helium gas into storage vessels on both stages. We use the helium gas to pressurize the tanks as the propellant is pulled out by the engine pumps. Dragon is also getting ready. It began its auto sequence at T-minus 35 minutes, and that's when it coordinates timing with Falcon 9 and makes sure that all of its systems are healthy. The next big step for Dragon is to move to internal power at T-minus 8 minutes, which was coming up here in just about a minute. The range is ready to support, Airspace and sea surface are clear for launch. Checking in on the weather, we do have a 70% chance of good weather. We are looking out for some thick cloud layers and a little bit of precipitation, but it's still looking good for us at T-0. So with Falcon 9, Dragon, and the range reporting green, at T-8 minutes and counting, all systems are go. Our Dragon spacecraft has been making trips to the space station for 7 years now, and today it's still the only vehicle flying that can deliver significant cargo both to and from the orbiting lab. In 2010, SpaceX became the first private company to send a spacecraft to orbit and return it back to Earth. 2 years later, in 2012, Dragon became the first privately developed spacecraft to visit the space station. And since then, SpaceX has made a total of 18 trips to the station, and we're currently under contract with NASA for a total of 26 cargo resupply missions. Dragon will be carrying dozens of research payloads to the space station.
That's nice. Okay, so before I started streaming this, I looked to see, because I couldn't even remember what CRS-17 was, when that was, and which launch that was. And it turns out, if you remember back, that was the launch where the booster kind of went haywire on the way down and kind of made an abort crash landing, water landing in the ocean because the grid fins locked up. That feels like forever ago, does it not? What'd you say? This is the 6th SpaceX launch of the year? That just doesn't seem like a lot. It is a lot, but not compared to what I feel like they should be, or they were at last year.
Many of those payloads represent life science investigations, all with the intention of improving patient care back on Earth. Let's get an idea about some of those investigations that are associated with this mission. The ISS National Lab is partnered with a branch of the National Institutes of Health that is providing funding to support the use of tissue chip technology for research on board the space station to benefit human health on Earth. 4 of these tissue chips in space investigations are launching on this mission. Tissue chips, small chips containing human cells grown on an artificial scaffold to model the structure and function of human tissue, enable better disease modeling and higher accuracy drug screening. In microgravity, human tissue chip models have the potential to accelerate pathways for understanding the mechanisms behind disease and developing new treatments. Pharmaceutical company AstraZeneca is sending the first of multiple investigations to the ISS National Lab to improve patient care on Earth. This project seeks to advance a novel drug delivery system that uses nanoparticles as carriers for drugs to provide targeted and controlled release therapies. Specifically, the research team will evaluate a proprietary method of nanoparticle formation in microgravity toward improved drug formulations that have greater efficacy and are easier for patients to tolerate. This mission also includes multiple protein crystal growth investigations. In microgravity, crystals often grow larger and with more uniformity than on the ground. High-quality crystals provide a more detailed understanding of protein structures, which enables improved structure-based drug design. One protein crystal growth payload from the National Cancer Institute's Chemical Biology Consortium aims to conduct multiple protein crystallization experiments on the station aimed at drug.
Fascinating. Just absolutely fascinating. Norminal. Dude, Spaceballs is it is a classic, okay? I see your Schwartz is as big as mine. My stream is like 20 seconds ahead of SpaceX's stream. I don't know how that works because I'm using their stream. I think your SpaceX stream on your computer might be a little laggy.
Dozens of research experiments that Dragon will take up to the space station. You can follow at space_station on Twitter for more information on the exciting microgravity research happening on the station. We are at T-4.5 minutes and continuing to count down for our instantaneous launch window. In these last few minutes, the Falcon 9 is performing final checkouts to make sure all primary systems will work in flight. Those checkouts include propulsion, communications, and avionics systems. As I mentioned earlier, fuel and liquid oxygen valves are open for loading up the propellant tanks. We do prep the engines prior to flight, so cold liquid oxygen chills in the turbo pump on each of the 9 Merlin engines on the first stage. This is what we call engine chill, and that began a few minutes ago at T-minus 7 minutes. And you might hear the call out for the engines being sufficiently chilled later on in the countdown. Checkouts of the second stage thrust vector control actuators are now underway. We perform a test called engine wiggle. This is when we move the thrust chamber slightly to make sure the guidance hardware is go for launch. First stage engines wiggle just seconds before ignition. At T-minus 1 minute, Falcon 9 flight computers will enter startup mode and guide the rocket through the rest of the countdown. And the SpaceX launch director gives the go for launch at T-minus 45 seconds. Finally, just in the last couple seconds before liftoff, the engines are ignited, and at T-minus 0, the rocket is released from the hold-down clamps. At liftoff, the strong back retracts away from the rocket, clearing the way for the launch pad. And Dragon is also performing its own final checkouts to make sure all of its primary systems will work.
Okay. So the reason why this one has been delayed like, what, a week almost, is because the International Space Station apparently, and again, I just skimmed these articles last minute because I was trying to get caught up before I did this live stream. Apparently, the International Space Station lost 75% of its power the other day, so they had to delay the launch, and also they had conflicting schedules because of all the things that the astronauts were doing up there, so they also had to delay it for that. So not all these delays were because of SpaceX. Last night was because of the power with the drone ship. But the reason why this wasn't delayed because of the Crew Dragon is because Crew Dragon exploded due to something involving the Super Dracos. Even though it wasn't the Super Dracos themselves, it had to do with that system because we saw the red fuel or oxidizer. And Cargo Dragon just doesn't have that. It doesn't have Super Dracos, so. How do you guys like their new little setup down here? This is a lot different than what it used to be. I don't know how I feel about it yet, but I don't like change. Well, technically Crew Dragon doesn't have Super Dracos anymore. That's pretty funny. I mean, it's sad, but it's funny. If you don't laugh, we can't heal, right? Yep, nitrogen tetroxide.
Falcon 9 is in startup. Dragon is in startup.
Ground gas closeout complete.
Stage 2 pressing for flight.
All right.
For launch.
Let's have no issues tonight. I'm sick of issues. I just want a nice, easy, successful launch, landing, and then I'll go to bed, and you can go to bed. Or if you're in Europe, you can have breakfast. If you're in Australia, you can have lunch or dinner or second lunch.
Stage 1 pressing.
T-minus 15 seconds.
Falcon 9 is configured for flight.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4.
Let's go, baby.
2, 1. 0. Ignition. Liftoff. Air Dragon go Falcon.
Vehicle is pushing downrange.
Stage 1 Airship AOS.
Is it just me, or does it feel like it's been a long time since we had a day launch? What, it was Falcon Heavy, right? And that was like an evening launch? I missed them.
Power and telemetry are nominal.
vehicle is supersonic. Vehicle is experiencing maximum aerodynamic pressure.
It's just after T plus 1 minute, and we have had a nominal liftoff of our Falcon 9. We're just about to pass through max Q, which is the maximum aerodynamic pressure that the vehicle will see. Actually, we've confirmed that we've passed through max Q. So now we will have a series of 3 events coming up in rapid succession: main engine cutoff, stage separation, and second engine start. Main engine cutoff, or what we like to call MECO, is where all 9 engines on the Falcon 9 first stage shut down. This is then followed up by the stage separation, or the separation of the first and second stages. And then finally is the second engine start, where the Merlin vacuum engine on the second stage lights up and begins to carry Dragon to its targeted orbit. So let's listen into the countdown net for those 3 events coming up here in just about 10 seconds.
Everything is nominal. Yeah, that flame crawl, I mean, I don't know why. It always just makes me, like, just a little nervous. Like, just stop right there. Don't creep up any further, please.
MECO.
Stage separation confirmed.
Stage 1, weather report.
Nice.
Now there you can see on your left screen is the first stage, and on your right screen is the second stage. We've just had a successful MECO and stage separation, as well as second stage startup, which you can see on your right screen. That's the second stage engine glowing red there. We've also begun the boost back burn for the first stage. That you can see brightly on your screen, on your left screen there.
Beautiful colors. So pretty. Flame crawls when it's the flame from the engine kind of creeps up the landing legs a little
And
bit.
there on your right screen, you can actually see the nose cone from Dragon deploying and falling back down to Earth. Now that nose cone helps protect the Dragon during ascent from aerodynamic loads, but once we're in the vacuum of space, we no longer actually need it.
And stage 1, boost back burn, shut down.
And as you see on your left screen, it has gone dark because the boost back burn is now complete. And in order to make its way back to the drone ship of Course I Still Love You, the first stage executes a series of 3 burns. The first burn is the boost back burn, which you just saw, and that's meant to slow the rocket down and reorient it for re-entry. Shortly after this first burn is initiated, the grid fins, which are located near the top of the first stage, are deployed to help guide the rocket during descent. Following that boost back burn, Falcon 9 then executes its re-entry burn, which slows itself down before hitting the dense parts of the Earth's atmosphere. Then last is the landing burn, which helps to rapidly slow down the first stage booster as it touches down on our drone ship.
Woo, we have over 1,000 people watching. Hey everyone, welcome.
It's T plus 4.5 minutes here, and the second stage is on its way to drop Dragon off into its targeted orbit. What you see on your screen there is that nice glowing Merlin vacuum engine. We've had an on-time launch this morning at 2:48 a.m., which was just a few minutes ago, and ascent was nominal. We've had a great stage separation. And now second stage is on its way to take Dragon to orbit.
What fuel is used in the second stage vacuum engine? I'm pretty sure it's the same, isn't it? Is it kerosene, RP1? If I'm mistaken, let me know. Pretty sure it's still
Coming up
RP1.
here in about a minute and a half will be that entry burn that I mentioned earlier for the first stage.
Yep, RP1 locks.
If
Liquid
we
oxygen.
do land this booster today, it will be SpaceX's 39th booster landing.
39th.
Now it's very early in the morning here, so we don't get a lot of sunlight in that first stage view. But when we do have the entry burn start, you should be able to see a little bit of that first stage.
Rendezvousing in Kerbal Space Program is hard to figure out, but once you get the hang of it, it's so much fun. It's so satisfying, especially those rescue missions where you get to rescue the stranded Kerbals, bring them home. and then possibly kill them because you forgot to deploy your parachutes.
6 minutes, and we're just about 30 seconds away from that first stage entry burn. Second stage is still looking good.
It's a bummer. This was supposed to land on the landing pad, but now it's landing on the drone ship, so hopefully the feed doesn't cut out. I always enjoy it more when it lands on the landing pad or on landing zone 1 and 2. Or completely forgot to put parachutes on your vessel. Yeah, that's true. Done that. Many times. What up, Sweden?
Stage
Love your
1.
chocolate.
There you can see on your left screen there that first stage re-entry burn has just begun. It's glowing pretty bright
Stage 2
there.
continues to follow a nominal
So we're not getting a lot of
trajectory.
sunlight. At least the
We're just-
engines are giving us
We're
a
just
good
now on
view of
reentry
that
burn.
first
Holy
stage.
cow. Where have I been? I thought we were landing. I'm not even paying attention to this area
Now
down
we
here.
actually don't need all 9 engines for this entry burn, so we are actually only using 3 engines. And that completes the first stage entry burn.
Yeah, I built a whole big space station in Kerbal Space Program, like using a space shuttle kind of thing I built. It's on my channel. You just have to search through the my videos. I'm gonna play some more. I still need to put some Kerbals on Mars or Duna. Maybe I'll put that
Now
on
the
my
first stage
Patreon in
landing
the
burn
near
should be
future.
beginning in about
to play
20
that game some more.
seconds here. It's a bit dark, so we might not be able to get a great view of the first stage landing, but we'll see what we can see there.
Wow, what?
And it looks like we
I don't
got
think
an
I've seen
infrared
this before.
shot of
Yeah, an
stage
infrared
1
shot.
there.
Nice.
That's an awesome view.
So
We're not
exciting.
getting a lot of sunlight. At least we could see it with the infrared view.
Oh, that is
And
sweet.
there's that landing burn beginning.
I'm liking this.
That looks awesome.
Have you guys seen this before? I don't think I've ever seen this before.
Again, we are landing on our drone ship. Of course, I still love you.
If they
We're
can
following
keep
the
this,
first
I'll,
stage all the way to the
Stage
drone
that's going to be
ship.
awesome.
Guidance.
Oh, get out of the way, clouds. Come on. That is awesome feed. Look at
So
that.
we've got
Come
a
on,
good
baby.
live view of this landing here.
Yeah, we do. They upgraded their gear.
And we have touchdown of the first stage Falcon 9 vehicle on our drone ship. Of course, I still love you.
And scene.
That was an incredible view
I
of
teach
that
physical
entire
science.
landing. That was awesome.
Not physics, physical science. It's physics, intro to physics, basically.
So now going back to our primary
chemistry.
mission, our second stage is about to,
That was awesome.
actually it looks like we just had SECO, the second engine
I wonder if
cutoff,
SpaceX
which
upgraded
means we're
their
coming
gear.
up
Orbital insertion.
on Dragon separation soon here. Waiting for confirmation of good orbit.
I don't have tutorials for Kerbal, but Scott Manley has some awesome ones.
And
Check
we
out
have
his early
confirmation of
videos.
good orbit. And we've got this live view.
Maybe
of
I'll do
the
some, like,
Dragon trunk
in the
from
future.
the second stage.
They'd be hilarious, though,
the
'cause
aft
they
end
wouldn't be
of-
as
or
good
the
as
forward
his.
end of the second stage. And we're looking directly into the trunk of the Dragon. So inside of the trunk of the Dragon, what you can see there are some of these science experiments
Do it.
that Dragon is taking up
Do
to the
it.
International Space Station.
Deploy. Yes.
And there you can see on your screen, Dragon has deployed. And again, that is such a cool view of the science experiments in the trunk of that Dragon.
Separation has been confirmed.
As mentioned previously, Dragon is carrying tons of cargo to the International Space
And that
Station
looks like
on this
Kerbal
mission.
Space
A
Program.
small portion of that cargo represents supplies for the astronauts, which is things like food and clothing, but most of that cargo represents science going up to the space station. The International Space Station serves as the world's leading laboratory where researchers conduct cutting-edge research and technology.
That is a great idea. I would love to see Elon playing Kerbal Space Program. He would build the most ridiculously awesome things, and they would probably work too.
So what we have coming up
We need to
next
start like
about
a
minute and half
Kickstarter
is
for that.
solar array deployment for Dragon. And if you could see in this view, the solar arrays are actually folded up against the side of Dragon. So what will happen during deployment is they will actually extend out almost like an accordion. And that'll be around T plus 12 minutes. So we're just about a minute away from that solar array deployment.
I was on a field trip. I came back today. We left yesterday. We came back today. So I got kind of lucky that I got to experience this with you guys.
And what you're seeing on your screen there is an inside view of those solar panels folded up before they're deployed on Dragon. We're just about 30 seconds away from the start of that deployment. Now, deploying the panels does take about a minute, so we do wait for the hinges to lock out on the panels before we confirm solar array deployment for Dragon.
Yep, stage 2 is expendable. They do a deorbit burn, let it crash back into the ocean, hopefully. Not on my house or your house.
This is Dragon CC on countdown 1. Dragon's propulsion system has successfully primed, and all thrusters report ready for firing.
So in America, we launch our rockets on the coast and not over the continental United States so they don't kill anyone when they, maybe when they could possibly come back down. But is
the start of the solar array deployment?
Isn't it true that China they don't even care? They just launch them and let the boosters fall down on the countryside, and I think I've seen pictures of that, like these big boosters landing next to houses. It's pretty sweet. I too like to live dangerously.
Solar arrays are looking great. Should be locking out.
And Russia does it too. Of course Russia does it. And Russia, rocket crush you and dog.
And we've got full solar array deployment. Dragon is now officially on its way to the space station. When Dragon arrives in a couple of days, the spacecraft and the space station will establish direct communications link. Then Dragon will slowly approach, pausing at several checkpoints to ensure everything is still going as expected.
I think we're going to end up wrapping this up, aren't we?
Eventually, Dragon will be close enough for the astronauts on board the space station to capture Dragon. Then ground communications will be sent from Mission Control in Houston for the station's arm to rotate and install it onto the bottom of the station's Harmony module. Dragon will remain at the space station for about 4 weeks, and then the spacecraft will return to Earth with research and return cargo. So just to recap our mission today, we had a great liftoff this morning. We've had a successful stage separation. We brought back that.
Okay, yep, that's it. That's all they're gonna do. So yeah.
And we dropped Dragon off into its targeted orbit and deployed those solar arrays, allowing Dragon to head off to the International Space.
Well, that's great that they had a successful mission.
Arrival, capture, and installation to the station.
I feel like lately just things haven't been going right for SpaceX. You know, first the center core of Falcon Heavy tipped over on its way back to land, and then you had the Crew Dragon explosion. It's great to have another win. Let me transfer this. May the 4th be with you too, lady. Okay, so speaking of May the 4th, even though it's Star Wars Day, I'm going to spend my afternoon going to watch Endgame, which I'm excited about. Not so much just, you know, that I'm looking forward to seeing the movie, but I'm more looking forward to not getting spoiled by it. So now that I told you guys that I'm going to go see Endgame today, I'll probably have to get off here before any of you try to, you know, put any spoilers in the chat section. So I probably shouldn't even look at that now. Dang it, I cornered myself. See, I'm probably going to get off here. I'm going to get some sleep, and then I'm going to go on a date. I'm going to make my wife pay for the tickets. Oh, yeah, because that's how I roll. I already paid for him. I'm not that bad of a guy. All right. Okay. Anything else you guys got for me you want to talk about before I go sleeps? I'm afraid to look in the chat now. I know someone in here is going to be like, oh, Captain America dies or something. I don't know if that's what happens. If I find out, I will be so mad. I'll shut this channel down. Dude, I was a huge Star Wars fan, and until these new ones, I was so disappointed by these. If you like the new ones, that's awesome. I'm glad you like them, but I cannot stand these new Star Wars movies. They were not good. They killed Luke Skywalker. How dare you? So yeah, I'm all about Marvel now. Like, I'll spend my May the 4th watching, you know, hopefully Deadpool kill Captain Marvel or something. All right. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for watching this with me. I hope I wasn't too drowsy for you. It's been a while since I had sleep, so I apologize if I was a little draw. I don't know. I don't know what the word is. Okay. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. Ooh, I gotta pull up my outro. All right, here we go. Thank you so much for watching. This is Tim Dodd, the Everyday No, this is Kevin, Cloud Liquor Kevin, saying good night. God bless you. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. And God bless all of you on the good earth. Apollo 8. Good night.